So I'm looking for a flower to go in the center that will bloom from spring to throughout summer into fall. Now let's look at this one. This one is the Pincushion flower. It's $8.94 and it smells really pretty.
Yeah, I feel like you can see it inside the nest. Maybe come back at the end, just in case.
Right here?
Go for a
Go with these. I got 2 roses. I got a jasmine. And I got some commoner. So let's go ahead and check out. I came back for the Pincushion plant and got it on clearance. They are $5 each. In today's video, I'm planting up the plants we picked up at Walmart. Here I'm adding the fertilizer to the soil in this pot. I'm using Espoma Rose Tone fertilizer. I will be planting the Pincushion plant in the center, and then we'll surround this plant with the white geraniums. Here I'm planting the white geraniums. I did pick up 3 mini pots in the last video. So I will be forming a circle around the Pincushion plant in the center. Hopefully this will be enough because once the spring progresses into summer, they tend to spread out, and that should be enough for this pot. I didn't want to overload the pot, as the Pincushion may have a heavy root system. So I did plant one on each corner of the around the Pincushion plant itself. 1, 2, 3. These are so pretty, and I'm excited that the blooms will last from spring through fall. I'm excited for that. Now I'm showing you here my front bed where the hydrangeas are located. Now, the birds are making another nest on my porch, you guys. So I decided to extend my tripod up to the nest to see what's inside. And lo and behold, this is what we found.
All right, stop there.
Stop here?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I feel like you can see it inside the nest. Maybe.
There were 2 beautiful blue eggs in the nest and 2 baby birds. Oh my gosh. And as you can see there, I don't know if that was the mom or the dad waiting in the trees for us to move away from her nest. That's exciting. So today I'm at Home Depot. I'm looking for roses. So far I've picked up this one, My Bouquet Hybrid Tea Rose, and I picked up this one, Heirloom Rose Hybrid Tea. I haven't planted any rose since 2020. I had bought a bunch of hybrid tea from Walmart and they just didn't make it past 2 seasons. The Japanese beetle had a field day. So, what I'm indecisive. I'm thinking I like this one. Go with these. I got 2 roses. I got a jasmine. And I got some commoner. So let's go ahead and check out. In the parking lot, there are carts outside with a ton of herbs, and they were only $3.98 per cup. So I definitely need to pick up a couple of those. We definitely need to get our rosemary, basil, tomato, and so on. The weather has been back and forth here in Northwest Ohio, so we haven't planted any of that stuff as of yet. Well, we did plant lavender and peppermint. For some reason, the last 2 spring, including this spring, which would be the 2nd spring, these hosters are not growing as usual. I'll put a pop-up if I can find a picture of what they usually look like when they're fully grown. They should be at least this size. These have yellow on the outer rim, and these have white on the outer rim of the leaves, but for some reason they're not growing as usual. So instead of leaving this space bare, so I'm planting a rose bush here and then one over there. Once the anemones stop blooming in spring, that section will also be bare. So let's go ahead and plant them up. So here I'm showing you we have the first hole and the second hole dug. So now let's get ready to plant the roses. So we are planting Clean and Easy Arctic Blue Floribunda Rose. Here in the front of the bed. Go ahead and take it out the pot. Good root system. So place it right here. And on this side, I'm planting the My Bouquet Hybrid Tea Rose in white. Not really sure the name of this one, but here is the stacks. Here's the rose, and look at this root system. So pretty. Let's go ahead and pop it in the ground. And we'll be adding rose tone fertilizer later on. Actually, I ordered a bag and it's on the way here, so that is why I'm not fertilizing it right now. But I did add some cow manure to the soil, so it should be good for now. It's currently, the temperatures are currently in the 50s, so it's nice and cool. You know, I found out that these are medicinal. These violet weeds are medicinal. One of my viewers left a comment telling me that they can actually make tea or a drink. I didn't know that. So these weeds are actually medicinal. The wild violet weeds, they're so pretty when they're in bloom. Yeah, so I went ahead and planted both roses. One here and one over here. I came back for the Pincushion plant and got it on clearance. They are $5 each. It's looking rough. Let's give them a good water, good shower. then we'll get them in the ground. So these are all the 6 containers that I picked up on the clearance rack. Alright you guys, so I have successfully separated the first one. After a lot of struggle, I had to cut off the bottom half. It is seriously root bound. Look at this. Look at all that. Ugh. So I had to literally cut the plant in half. So I need 12 sections. So I have 5 more to go. So I'll put this one over here. This one over here. Look at that. Oh, seriously root bound. This is gonna be a struggle again. So again, I am cutting off the bottom part, and then I'll try to cut it in two. Giving it a good slice.
You cut the root.
I know. I have to, sadly, to separate it. Look at that. It's torture. But they'll bounce back. Let me give them a good soak. I have one more to separate.
A soak?
Yep. You holding it over it? I got one more. Oh, look at this. Let me slice the bottom off because it is so root bound. That's why they have them on the clearance rack.
This is satisfying.
I know it is.
May, can I cut the leftovers?
The leftovers. It's not a cake. It's not edible. I can't separate it if I don't use the knife. See? That's how root bound it is.
You should have the ASMR sounds.
Shh. This is still good, I don't know. We will be planting all of these separated pincushion flower in the front bed. Now, if you recall, this was my front bed in front of the fence back in 2023 when I planted a bunch of heucheras. I replaced some daylilies and planted heucheras. And then here is a pic of July of 2024. Now, since then, there has been a few changes. We've painted the fence and I've lost a few of the heucheras. So I am trying to fill in the gaps between the heucheras in the front bed. So let's go ahead and plant up these pincushion flower. I'm hoping for them to bounce back. So I will be soaking these holes that I've dug with water and some rose tone fertilizer and then get them planted up in the bed so they can begin to root out again. close to me. That's enough. It's enough. I planted 3 pincushions on this side. 1, 2, 3. And then I planted another 3 over here. So I just have to get it mulched again. So as you can see, I got 1 here. I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in this bed. So once this is rooted and becomes a full plant, they'll begin to spread and get bigger and more fluffy, and it should look a whole lot better. And these are perennials along with the rest of the plants. So I got heucheras, pincushions, daylilies, and the hydrangeas. So we'll see how this looks this season once everything is all blooming and fully rooted out. Here's a sneak peek at the peonies that are getting ready to bloom. I can't wait. Look at this bloom head. And you guys, here is the pincushion flower in the pot we planted it in earlier on in the video. A couple days later, it is blooming so well. It is definitely a prolific bloomer. As you can see here, it's pushing out new blooms as I just deadhead a few of them, and it's already pushing out new blooms. So pretty. So pretty. Look at the peonies, the pincushion, and the anemones that are getting ready to bloom. So pretty. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel here at Jazz and Blooms, and also to my home channel, which is at Home with Nissy. Here is a little sneak peek of the video that's coming up next, where I'm thrifting for gardening decor for my home. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.